Joan Laporta and the return of Lionel Messi. FC Barcelona is going through crucial moments during this international break. After the global impact of Messi's visit to the Camp Nou, Joan Laporta spoke publicly and addressed the possibility of the idol returning to the club. In an interview with Radio Catalunya, the president was direct, almost surgical. "I don't regret it. Barca is above everything. It wasn't possible, but if the tribute can help, it would be fantastic. Out of maximum respect for Messi and for the club's professionals, I would not make unrealistic speculation." Harsh words, because when the president says Barca is above everything, he reminds the world of one clear thing: the badge comes before even the greatest legends. But let's be honest, it's impossible not to feel that lump in the throat. After all, Messi is Barca, and the Camp Nou, still under renovation, seems to sigh with nostalgia every time number 10 sets foot there again. And pay attention to this: Laporta didn't even know Messi was going to appear there. According to him, it was a spontaneous act of Barca spirit. The man simply had dinner with friends, took a walk, and decided to visit the home where he made history. Just like that, no invitation, no agenda, just with his heart. Now, regarding the famous Beckham clause that would supposedly allow Messi to return to Barca temporarily while staying at Inter Miami, Laporta was clear: unrealistic speculation. Finally, with glory or pain depending on the perspective, journalist Alfredo Martinez stated on X, formerly Twitter, "Messi is not considering returning to Barca as a player, but between us, Cule, the love between Messi and Barca is one of those stories that time does not erase. Maybe he won't wear the shirt again, but Barca will always be his home." And who knows, in football, where we've seen it all, even the impossible often finds a way to happen. Andres Iniesta and the controversy in Peru: a Barca crack and idol could be arrested. According to reports from the portal Ebola and the channel La Sexta, the eternal FC Barcelona idol, Andres Iniesta, is under investigation by the Peruvian Public Ministry for an alleged multi-million-dollar scam related to investment capture. Yes, the same Iniesta, who made us cry with joy with his goal at Stamford Bridge and taught us that humility also wins titles, finds himself at the center of a scandal shaking the football world. According to Peruvian authorities, the former players' company, Navies Never Barcelona, along with its South American subsidiary NSN Sudamerica, allegedly lured Peruvian entrepreneurs with promises of sports and cultural events that never took place. The problem, Cule, is that investors claim to have trusted Iniesta's name, depositing around $600,000, approximately 3 million reais, with the illusion of being part of major sports and entertainment projects. But the Peruvian Public Ministry argues that everything remained unresolved and that the money may have been transferred abroad, making the case increasingly suspicious. One of the affected entrepreneurs, Emilio Lozano, was clear: Iniesta's international image was used as bait to deceive Peruvian entrepreneurs. On the other hand, sources close to the former player assured La Sexta that Iniesta and his company were also victims. According to his entourage, the Peruvian subsidiary was created and managed by incompetent people who harmed Iniesta himself as well as third parties. In summary, his name was used without his direct control. Either way, it's a stain no one expected to see associated with the name of such a respected, beloved, and emblematic player of the Cule Seni. The magician from Fuentealbilla, the silent brain who gave us so much joy, now faces a dark chapter off the pitch. And now the question remains: do you think, Blaugrana supporter, that Iniesta was deceived or that he should have monitored much more closely the businesses bearing his name? Harry Kane, Lewandowski's successor according to The Guardian and the portal Madrid Barcelona, FC Barcelona has already begun moving in the market to find a successor to Robert Lewandowski, and the name gaining strength behind the scenes is Harry Kane from Bayern Munich. Lewandowski's contract with Barca ends in June 2026, and everything indicates that this will be his last season wearing the Blaugrana shirt. At 37, the Polish striker no longer has the same role as before. He has suffered several injuries and attracted interest from Milan, who are closely following his situation. Facing this, Barca is aiming high. According to The Guardian, the Catalan club is studying the possibility of paying the €57 million release clause, approximately 395 million reais, to recruit Harry Kane, who has become Bayern Munich star figure since his arrival in 2023. The numbers speak for themselves. While Lewandowski has played 12 matches this season, only 5 as a starter, and scored 5 goals, Kane has played 17 matches and scored 23 goals. It's this kind of offensive power that Barca wants to regain in its attack. Despite financial difficulties and La Liga's fair play challenges, Barca believes the investment is worth it, as Kane's clause is considered low for the European market. Additionally, the striker, who will turn 33 in July 2026, has also shown interest in wearing the Blaugrana shirt and would accept a salary reduction to play for the club, according to Barcelona. The possible arrival of Kane would mark the beginning of a new era in Barca's attack, with the board planning a natural transition after Lewandowski's departure. The goal is clear: to keep the club at the highest European level and continue competing for titles with big names. And now, Kuhl supporter, would you trade Lewandowski for Harry Kane in 2026? The future of Robert Lewandowski. According to Sky Sports journalist Sasha Tavalieri, Robert Lewandowski's future could be far from the Camp Nou. The Polish striker, under contract with Barca until June 2026, is beginning to look with interest at Milan's sporting project, which is trying to convince him to wear the rossonero shirt once his adventure in Catalonia ends. Negotiations for an extension between Barca and the striker have not progressed, and everything indicates that his departure will take place at the end of next season. Although there is a small chance he could stay, the scenario seems to lead to an already expected separation, especially because Barca plans to rejuvenate its squad and reduce the team's average age. On the other hand, Milan appears as the main interested party and is working behind the scenes. Initial contacts with Lewandowski's entourage have been positive, and the presented project, fighting for titles and maintaining an experienced core, as was the case with Giroud, has convinced the player. At 37, Lewa still feels competitive and sees Italian football as an opportunity to remain at a high level. Milan's management has even scheduled new meetings with agent Pini Zahavi for the coming weeks. The goal is to offer a salary in line with the club's conditions and the player's demands, who is still evaluating the best path for the end of his career. The Italians have even dreamed of an early release, but Barca has refused this option. The board understands there would not be enough time to recruit a suitable replacement and intends to rely on the striker until the end of his contract. Thus, Milan is focusing its efforts on finalizing a pre-agreement in January 2026, which would allow a free transfer in mid-2026. Meanwhile, the Daily Sport revealed that Lewandowski is also considering the possibility of retiring if there is no extension offer. The striker would be willing to accept a secondary role in the squad, even as a substitute for Hansi Flick, to end his career at the club. However, the final decision has not yet been made. And now, Kuhl supporter, do you think Lewandowski should seek a new challenge at Milan or retire wearing the Barca shirt? Lamine Yamal and the controversy with the Spanish national team. According to Radio Catalunya, FC Barcelona president Joan Laporta has decided to end the controversy between the club and the Spanish national team regarding young Lamine Yamal. The forward, who had been called up for the matches against Georgia and Turkey, was ultimately ruled out after undergoing medical exams at Barca, which generated dissatisfaction within the Spanish Football Federation, surprised and unhappy with this decision. Laporta, however, wanted to clarify everything. In an interview on the program El Madi, the executive explained that the club simply followed medical recommendations. We informed the Spanish national team when we received the response from the doctor who examined Lamine. Our doctors passed the information on to the federation's professionals. We don't want controversies, the president stated. According to Laporta, the specialist assessed Yamal on Monday and determined the treatment that has been followed since. Barca wants to have Lamine in the best possible condition and available. The process coincided with the national team matches, but everything is on the right track, he added. The executive also defended the young talent, who, despite being 17, has become one of the team's main stars. I'm not worried about his lifestyle. He is a player who must be protected and helped, but he is very mature. He plays with pubalgia, and that shows his commitment, he emphasized. Additionally, Laporta praised Lamine Yamal's talent, developed at La Masia. As a footballer, he is a genius. We must protect and help him grow because he hasn't yet reached his maximum level. He is the best in the world in his position. While Barca takes care of its gem, the Spanish national team has already named a replacement. Jorge de Frutos, a Rayo Vallecano forward, who has 6 goals and 3 assists in 16 matches this season. In addition to Yamal, Spain is suffering from the absence of important players such as Carvajal, Lenormand, Rodri, Pedri, and Nico Williams, all injured. And now, Kuhl supporter, do you think Barca did the right thing by prioritizing Lamine Yamal's recovery, even if it upset the Spanish national team?